Hello, Grandma here. Judy. I was so sorry to hear about that football player. I think his name is Jovan Belcher. He killed his 22-year-old girlfriend, Kasandra. He shot her 5 times, and then he went to the stadium and he killed himself. He was only 25. God has put it on my heart today, and I've got so many emails also about domestic violence. I want to tell you, ladies, if you smell a hint of it, get away. It's not going to get better. Don't think, oh, if I stay with him, he won't hurt me. He will kill you. And it's not just women, men. Women will do the same thing. They will kill you. So just don't deal with anybody that you got to fight with. And don't put up with it. I've got the book right now. It's called Until Today by Iyanla Vanzant. And that's a good book to pick up. Each day they have some great sayings for you to start your day with. I love that lady of so many. Great wisdom. I have some really horrible stories, and I'm going to ask you guys to pray for the victims and the people that commit it. It's a horrible crime. Sometimes they take their children out with them. Sometimes they kill their wives. They've got so many evil ways. We had a man here who had been beating on this woman. He married her that night, beat her to death when he got back home, put her in a bathtub in her wedding dress. It's some sick people out there, folks. Watch your step. I think you know that. But just for tonight, I'd say watch it and weep. Just search domestic violence here on YouTube and see the many stories, the many deaths, the people in prison. You know, I don't care if you have to go to another state, do it. Because I know there's people who will follow you. Now I'm going to give you my own personal experience with domestic violence. I was 27 years old when I first got married. My husband was 37. I had heard neighbors run their wife out, naked out the house and beat on them. They'd fight on Friday night and Saturday night. Then they were all lovey-dovey Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So my father had told me, don't ever let anybody beat on me to get out of there, because they'll end up killing me or I'll end up killing them. So when I married this guy here, he had had problems from the war in Vietnam. And I thought, well, you know, maybe if I'm so nice to him and good to him, he will be okay. No, he wasn't. And I'm not trashing no black men here. I had to have the nerves to come out. And please don't feel sorry for me. I'm 5'9". He was 5'7". He was stocky. But when he put his hands on me, and I wasn't talking, I'm not a cusser, as you can see. When he put his hands on me when he was smoking his pot and getting high on his cocaine, I didn't do any of those things. Whatever I could get close to me, it went across his head. The only mistake, well, it didn't go across his head because he was running out the door and I was running right behind him. You know, we can argue, we can disagree, but we don't have to get disagreeable. Once you put up your hands on me, baby, the fight is on. So this happened about 3 times. You know, that makeup, that honeymoon, that go back. So after the 3rd time, I said, okay, I didn't have children now. That's why I had to tell you guys, don't be getting them kids real quick. So after the 3rd time, I said, well, this is like a ball game. 3 strikes, he's out. Because I'm going to tell you what was going on in my mind. I was thinking about putting something in his food. I was thinking about burning his bed. I think at that time the burning bed came out. He thought that everything was right, but it wasn't right. I was on edge with him. I didn't feel comfortable with him. So I talked to an uncle, and my uncle of mine says, go get your divorce. Get out of there. Because I know our family temper. And either you going to be dead or he's going to be dead. And he said, I'll put my money on you. Get out of it, Judy. So that's what I did. Him and I didn't have any more arguments. He begged me, cried and everything for me to come back to him. And I said, no, I just can't do it. I went on and got my divorce. There wasn't no children involved, so it was a sweet little divorce. And then I met a man who I already knew before him. We were just friends. And that's who became my second husband. And we stayed together for 13 years and had one daughter until he died. So I just want to tell you, you don't want to spend your time in prison. You don't want to have it on your heart that you've killed someone because you're defending yourself. One person wrote me and said their grandmother was in prison for killing her boyfriend. Well, grandmother, only way I could say if you kill him, he is in self-defense. But most of the time, you can get out the way. Like when I think about at Halle Berry's house. First of all, if I knew my husband was bringing the kid home, the boyfriend wouldn't even be at the house. I would have had the boyfriend to just stay away. He's coming back and bringing a baby. You stay away. So we women can control that situation a lot. Because I know a lot of men who have left the house, built the house, the woman move a man in the house, and there's tensions there. Because one of my friends, he went to the house to pick up his 2 sons, and the boyfriend came to the door and told him, don't you even come up to this door no more. My woman will bring the baby. And this was just girlfriend. They were shacking down to the car for you. And he said, Judy, I felt like coming up there with a gun and just killing them both. I said, well, I'm glad you didn't do it. So don't play with people's feelings. Just don't play with people's feelings. So to Jovan Belcher, age 25, who shot his girlfriend, Kasandra, who had come up from Texas to live with him. And then he killed himself at the football field. I'll put his name at the bottom. It's all on the news right now. But domestic violence, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. You know, if you got to beat on a woman or you got to beat on a man, it's best to just leave. You know, it's best to leave. We're not children, we're grown-ups. You put your hand on a grown-up's going to kill you. And you men, don't think you're going to beat your woman down. I'm going to tell you another story. I know another man with his wife. He used to go away and stay with his girlfriend. So he said, oh man, I ain't going to have no problem because she opened her mouth when I come back in. I just beat her down and gone on to sleep. This woman put up with this for 25 years. Lying all the time. That he's going to be better. He's going to be better. Baby, I was drunk. I'm sorry. That'll never happen again. So in his 25th year, he did the same thing. He went out. He was gone for about 3 days with his women. He came back. Go fix me something to eat. Nasty, nasty words. Nasty, nasty words. Well, she went in there and got a meat cleaver. First of all, she doped him up with something in his tea or coffee. When he dozed off to sleep, she started cutting off his main part there. Wasn't nothing he could do because he was drugged. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. She did kill him. She hacked him to death. And, but why? And then she went to prison because he hadn't really put his hands on her, you know, and then she had drugged him, so that kind of made it bad. So, people, get out those kind of situations. You know, try to live peacefully with a person, but it's better to live by yourself if you can't live peacefully with somebody. These women are not here, men, for you to beat on. And you're crazy that you're going to eat her food. I mean, women can think of all kind of good stuff to put in your food that can't even be traced. So if you're going to be beating on a woman, you better not go to sleep in the same house with her. So that's Grandma's version of watch yourself. Don't put up with it. And I warned my second husband. I told him, I says, you are going to pay for that first husband. He says, no, Judy, I got 6 sisters. Nobody better not put their hands on my sisters. So he was right. He kept his word. We didn't have any problems. Because he knew that if he did, I was going to probably go temporarily insane on him. But thank God I didn't have to do it. So ladies, get out of the situation. You don't want someone to kill you, and you don't want to kill someone else. Okay, have a good night.